You've probably heard the phrase, "let your money work for you." But what if I told you that money refuses to work unless you hand it a big paycheck first? Compounding sounds like magic until you run the math. Because no matter how smart you are or how early you start, it doesn't matter without one thing: a large sum of money. And here's the part no one tells you. It's not about greed, it's about physics. Let me tell you about Daniel. He was 26, lived modestly, skipped Starbucks, and invested $150 a month religiously. He followed every personal finance guru's advice. After 10 years of discipline, he looked at his account and saw $24,000. Disappointed, he asked, "Did I do something wrong?" No. He did everything right. But here's the truth. Compounding is a snowball effect. And no matter how perfectly you build the snowman, if you start with a snowflake, nothing rolls. Daniel wasn't lazy. He was undercapitalized. And no one warned him that compounding punishes the poor before it rewards the wealthy. Now you might be thinking, so are you saying compounding is a scam? Not exactly, but if you've ever wondered why the rich seem to build wealth faster, even when they start later, this video is for you. Because today, we're breaking down why compounding only actually works with a large sum of money and why it's not what you think. So, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Let's kick things off with the first compounding truth: the illusion of early starts without scale. We've all heard the advice, start early and you'll retire rich. That's half true and dangerously misleading. See, time is a powerful force in compounding, but only when it partners with size. Imagine putting a single raindrop on a trampoline. No bounce. Now imagine throwing a bowling ball. That's what a large sum of money does to your compounding curve. It gives it enough mass to bend the graph. Without it, you're playing the long game with broken dice. People love to point to Warren Buffett and say, he started at 11. But the real reason Buffett's fortune exploded wasn't just early investing. It was the sheer size of capital he controlled later on. 99% of his wealth came after age 50. Why? Because that's when compounding had real volume to work with. Time is only magic when it's partnered with capital density. And here's the trap. If you save $100 a month and get 10% annual returns, you won't be a millionaire in 20 years. You'll have $68,730. That's not financial freedom. That's a decent used car. So what's the truth most people never learn? That compounding isn't a game of patience. It's a game of positioning. And if you're not working toward a large sum, you're not compounding. You're just saving with flair. Let's move on to the next truth: how the rich weaponize lump sums to break the compounding barrier in ways average earners rarely even consider. Here's the part they don't teach you in school. Compounding isn't something the wealthy wait for. It's something they trigger. While the average person starts with $50 a month hoping it'll snowball over decades, the wealthy drop $50,000 in a single move and compress decades of results into a few short years. It's not luck, it's leverage. Not financial leverage with debt, but capital leverage with size. A large sum of money doesn't just grow, it grows aggressively because the timeline and the dollar amount are working in sync. Think of it like planting a tree. A poor person plants a seed and waits 30 years. A wealthy person plants a full-grown tree and watches it bear fruit next season. Both are called investing, but one of them feeds your family in your lifetime. And this is where most financial advice quietly fails. It tells everyone to invest, but it doesn't show you that what you invest, not just when, makes all the difference. The wealthy understand this, which is why they aggressively front-load their portfolios. Bonuses, business profits, inherited cash, whatever they have, they inject it early and often. Not because they're impatient, but because they understand how time multiplies capital. Not effort, not sacrifice, capital. And the bigger the lump sum, the faster compounding reveals its power. So if you've been tricked into thinking compounding is some patient man's game, think again. It's a tool, and like any tool, it only works when you actually have something to build with. Now let's talk about the flip side of this coin, why small, slow investments often end up wasting more time than they're worth. And by the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word "more" down below. All right, let's keep going and uncover the next hard truth behind why compounding only works with a large sum of money. What happens when you do everything right and still stay broke? Let's be honest. Most people don't fail with money because they're lazy or reckless. They fail because they do exactly what they're told. They budget. They skip vacations. They invest a little each month into their Roth IRA, and year after year they stay broke. Why? Because the system quietly rewards volume, not virtue. And when you play the long game with tiny numbers, compounding feels less like a magic trick and more like a treadmill that never speeds up. Here's the hard truth. $200 a month at 10% annual return for 30 years gets you about $395,000. Sounds impressive until you realize that's before inflation and taxes. In real terms, it's barely enough to retire, let alone thrive, and yet we're told this is the smart plan. But smart for who? Smart for financial institutions collecting fees on every little deposit. Smart for the authors selling books about discipline, while they invest lump sums from their royalties? You see, small investing isn't bad, but small investing alone is dangerous because it creates the illusion of progress while quietly delaying results. People spend decades doing the right thing, only to wake up at 55 with a portfolio that's just enough to make them nervous. They didn't fail. The system did. It sold them the dream of compounding but forgot to mention the engine runs on size. The point isn't to shame small beginnings. It's to recognize that without intentional scaling, you're not compounding. You're just rehearsing. And that brings us to a radical shift in mindset. Instead of asking, "How long will this take?" ask, "How big can I go? How fast?" Because that's how compounding stops being theory and starts becoming freedom. Let's move on to the next topic, where we'll break down how high-income earners skip the waiting game entirely and why mimicking their moves might be the key to escaping the slow lane. Most people think wealth is built with patience, but in reality, high earners don't wait. They accelerate. They don't sit around hoping their $100 grows into $1,000. They create large sums early and inject them into the compounding engine before anyone else even realizes the game has started. That's how the rules change. And if you're wondering how, here's the secret. They build capital momentum first, then let compounding take over. Think about it. A surgeon, a software engineer, or a business owner often doesn't invest for 30 years. They invest big for 5 or 10, and then let time do the rest. They understand the power of a $100,000 seed versus a $100 drip. And here's what most people miss. It's not about being born rich. It's about developing the skill set or business model that allows you to generate a capital injection quickly. Once that's in place, compounding becomes an amplifier, not a savior. Now, this isn't a license to compare yourself to people earning $300K a year. It's a blueprint. Because whether it's through a freelance business, real estate flips, or a side hustle that finally hits, the point is to shift your focus from saving pennies to generating capital chunks. Every wealthy person you admire made that switch. They stopped measuring their progress in time and started measuring it in capital velocity. This is the part where financial independence starts to feel real. Because once you understand that compounding works best when it's fed a large sum of money, the question isn't, "How long do I wait?" It's, "How fast can I scale my seed?" Coming up next, we'll explore how the wealthy shield these large sums from erosion and why protection is just as powerful as growth. If you think building a large sum is the hard part, think again. For the wealthy, the real game starts once they've secured that capital. Because compounding doesn't just depend on how much you invest, it depends on how long you keep it working. And nothing kills compounding faster than losing the principal. That's why the rich aren't just focused on returns, they're obsessed with preservation. There's a reason Warren Buffett's first rule of investing is never lose money. And his second rule, never forget rule number 1. Sounds obvious, but here's what he's really saying. Compounding only works when your capital stays intact. You can't compound what you've lost. So while most people chase 20% gains and gamble on the next hot stock, the wealthy are quietly shielding their money with tax shelters, diversified assets, and long-term vehicles like index funds and real estate. This is where risk tolerance becomes a misused phrase. The average investor hears, "be aggressive," and assumes it means swing hard. But the rich interpret it differently. They think in terms of risk-managed consistency. They'd rather earn 7% every year for 30 years than 25% one year and 15% the next, because they know that stability compounds and volatility resets the clock. Here's something no one tells you. The road to wealth isn't about chasing explosive growth. It's about avoiding the landmines that blow up your principal. Once you've built a large sum, your first job is to defend it, because every dollar you keep is a soldier that fights for you tomorrow. Next, we're going to dig into the most overlooked compounding engine the rich use, and why it has nothing to do with the stock market. When we talk about compounding, most people immediately picture interest rates, index funds, and stock charts. But the wealthiest individuals know there's a far more powerful compounding engine, and it doesn't live in the market. It lives in you. Because skills, when intentionally developed and applied, compound faster and more reliably than almost any asset class. And the best part? You don't need a brokerage account to access them. Think about this. A single new skill, copywriting, coding, negotiation, sales, can double your income in less than a year. That increase isn't just money in the bank. It's future capital for investment, opportunity access, and strategic freedom. The wealthiest people don't start rich. They start by compounding knowledge and monetizing it until they're able to generate the large sum of money that changes everything. Here's the twist no one tells you. The reason compounding works for the rich is because they've already invested in themselves. They've created leverage not through luck, but through layered skill sets that produce value on command. Want proof? Look at any self-made millionaire. Before their net worth grew, their earning capacity did. Compounding didn't begin with dividends. It began with decision-making, risk-taking, and skill stacking. If you're frustrated with your slow financial growth, ask yourself this. When was the last time you invested in a skill instead of a stock? Because while your $500 ETF might grow 8% this year, that same $500 spent on a high-impact course could 10x your income potential. And that's a kind of compounding Wall Street never taught you. Let's move forward and explore what really separates the top 1% from everyone else. How they multiply impact through systems, not effort. Most people believe wealth is the reward for hard work. But the wealthy know that effort has a ceiling, while systems scale infinitely. And this is the quiet truth behind almost every large sum of money. It wasn't earned through sweat. It was built through systems that work harder than any human ever could. Whether it's rental income, automated e-commerce, dividend portfolios, or scalable service models, the goal is always the same. Build once, benefit forever. Here's where most people stay stuck. They equate wealth with hustle. But hustle doesn't compound. Systems do. When you're trading time for money, you're capped. But when your assets, skills, and processes work while you sleep, you begin to see the real effects of compounding. A good system doesn't just add income, it multiplies freedom. Now let's be clear. Building systems takes work. In the beginning, it's messy. It's manual. It might not even make sense. But once the machine is running, once the system is humming, every dollar it generates becomes part of your capital base. And that base, when large enough, turns into the very thing we've been talking about all along, a compounding engine that never asks you to clock in. This is how the wealthy think. They don't chase effort, they chase infrastructure, and they don't waste energy repeating tasks they could automate, outsource, or scale. They build once, they refine, and they reap for years. So if you're still stuck in the mindset of work harder, save more, it's time for a shift. Because the real wealth comes not from how much you do, but from how well your systems do it without you. Now let's head into the final topic, where we'll pull it all together and confront the lie that keeps people hoping for compounding while never positioning themselves to actually experience it. This might sting, but you need to hear it. The reason most people never build wealth through compounding is because they're told to wait without ever being told to scale. The financial world sells patience as a virtue, as if time alone will make you rich. But here's the truth. Compounding is brutally honest. It doesn't reward effort. It doesn't care how long you've been trying. It only bends for weight. You've been told that starting early is the golden ticket, but that advice only works if it's paired with intensity. Without a large sum of money, time becomes a slow, grinding path to almost enough. That's why so many people do everything right, save, budget, invest a little, and still find themselves 30 years later wondering where the freedom is. The lie is that compounding is always working in your favor. It's not. If your base is too small, you're compounding frustration, not wealth. And that's the shift we all need to make. Stop thinking of compounding as this magical slow cooker. It's not passive. It's not inevitable. It's a force multiplier, but only when you feed it something substantial. So what do? You stop waiting for someday. You start building a large sum through skill, through income leaps, through systems, through protection. You create weight. Because when you do, compounding transforms from a wish into a weapon. And you finally start to experience what the rich already know, that the game was never about time. It was always about size. Now let's close with one final reflection. So now you know the truth. This is why compounding only works with a large sum of money, and also know that is not what you think. It's not about starting earlier. It's not about grinding harder. It's about positioning yourself to build weight, capital weight, skill weight, system weight. Because once you hit critical mass, the rules change. Your money doesn't grow. It multiplies, quietly, powerfully, predictably. If this hits you hard, good. That means you're ready to stop chasing slow advice and start building intentional momentum. Bear in mind, compounding isn't magic, but with the right weight behind it, it sure feels like it. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice. It is important to conduct thorough research and consult with financial professionals before making any investment decisions. The value of investments can fluctuate, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Always assess your risk tolerance and investment goals before allocating your capital. And if you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to leave your comment below. I appreciate your support. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next one, Money Magician.